Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. All those that are invisible are filled by Brahman. All those that are visible are also fully permeated by Brahman. The whole universe has come out of the whole Brahman. Brahman is still full, although the whole universe has come out of it. Om, peace, peace, peace. So here in the third chapter of the Śvetāśvatara Upanishad, and we will be reading today the 21st verse. So what we have got, these last few verses are very grand and unique in expression of the nature of Brahman or Atman, and these are very beautiful verses for meditation, as I think that it has so much depth in it. So we have heard that he has no specific eye or ear or head, but through every eye he sees, through every hand he works. It is he working. You think you are working. It is he sees through all the eyes. He hears through all the ears. He walks through all the feet, millions and billions and trillions of legs. It is his leg. He is doing everything. Sarvātmānaṃ shira griva. All the eyes are shiro is the head, griva is the neck. Sarvabhuta at the same time is residing in the heart of all. Sarvabhuto guha ashaya. Guha is the cave. Cave of the heart is residing. He may be everywhere, but his residence is more palpably, he can be felt in the heart center. That's why meditation is normally suggested to do the heart. He resides there mostly. That is the experience of the sages. Sarvabhyapi, he is everywhere. he lives everywhere. He is everywhere, omnipresent. Bhagavan, he is the Bhagavan. No? All these Vaishyajas are there. Tasmat sarvagataṃ, and from him has come everything what is auspicious, what is wonderful. And like that he goes on. Puruṣai vedāham sarvam. And 15th verse we read, idagam sarvam, what we see, it is only Purusha, the consciousness. It is nothing but that consciousness. You are not seeing it properly. We see it as a table, but it is not table, it is consciousness. So it says, Puruṣaiva idagam sarvam. Swamiji says, before you see any table, you see God first and then the table. That means you see in and through that reality and you see the world, perceive the world. Vibhutvāt, what is already created, that is also that Purusha. Vedāham, that bhavyam, what is coming to be born tomorrow, changing everything and coming to become, that is also that. Bhūtaṃ yasya bhavyam, and uta amritatta seshano ja annena ati tirohita. He grows beyond his own nature into the form of different objects. He still remains the Lord of immortality. And sarvātmānaṃ tat, that reality, it is with hands and feet everywhere. Sarvato akshishiro mukham, all these eyes everywhere. He exists. Sarvato srutimal loke, he resides in the ear of everyone, pervading everything in the universe. And also he is the illuminator of all the senses. All the senses become illumined. by which light it sees the world. It is the light of the inner light falls upon that. So it is, he is the sarvata shruti sarva aksishiromukam sarvata shruti vallake sarvam avritta tishtati. He resides everywhere. Sarvendriya gunabhasam is shining. As a shining reality, he functions all the senses. Senses are dull. That's why when the inner consciousness goes away, these eyes remains the same to a dead person, but he does not see. That consciousness is reflecting through the eyes, through the ear, to the senses, and making everything alive, visible, understandable, experiential. And at the same time, sarva indriya vibhutvāt is beyond all the senses. You cannot limit it if you say he only in the senses, but what is beyond that senses? It is beyond senses, it is through the senses, it illumines our senses and perceptions, and is the Lord, Sarvasya Prabhu, he is the Lord of everything, Lord God of everything, and Prabhu is the controller, ruler. And he is also sharaṇaṃ, he is the support, he is the refuge, last refuge of everything. All the waves rise and play and dance and fight, they ultimately rest, take refuge in the ocean. From ocean they come, on the ocean they dance and sing and play and fight, and then the ocean they dissolve. So it is like that consciousness will come, consciousness illumines everything, at the end all the name and form dissolve into the consciousness. And he resides in the heart, not only that in this body, which is the palace, Navadvare Pure Dehi, the Dehi, the Lord of the universe, the master of this body, Jiva, resides in the Navadvara, this body with 9 apertures, 9 gateway, 2 eyes gateway, 2 ears gateway, to the mouth gateway, all the senses perceived by these gateways. And Hangsho Lela Ayate Bahu, he sports. Hangsa, that jiva, the soul, enjoys this thing. Lila, to the eyes, to the ears, all the senses perceive the entire universe. And it is it's like a drama, like a play. Lela Ayate Bahu. And Bosi Sarvasya Lokasya, he is the controller of all the lokas, not only this planet Earth, all the planes of existences, 14 planes, Hindus have the idea, gross, subtle, and subtle level so many, tala, satala, patalo, rasatalo, bhur, bhuvasa, go up, and then go down. So all the planes of gross existence, subtle existence, he pervades everywhere. Sarvasya lokasya bashi, sthavarasya charasya cha, which is moving and which is non-moving. He permeates everything, he controls everything. He is the Lord God. He does not control like us, but his presence works. This is to be understood. When you say control, you are controlling. Mean I am the, hey, don't do that. That's the way I control. No? I say not to do that, or I insist on something by saying, by doing. The Lord God, the consciousness, does not work in that way. How he works? He is only. The sun comes up. He does not dictate, hey, you get up in your bed, come to the temple, do this. He does not dictate to anyone. Sun tells us anything. But sun comes up. The whole world gets up. Or someone is coming back from the night duty, someone is going into the day duty, is going up into someone going for meditation, someone going for stealing, someone going for killing. All these things are going on. The sun does not do anything, but his presence itself, the consciousness itself, because it is there, everything is pulsating, everything is functioning. He is controlling does not mean he is telling you to do this and that. But in his presence, such a magnificent spirit, strength and power, But it is bhayadasya agni tapati, out of his fear, the agni, the fire, is trembling with fear. Agni tapati surjaha, the sun gets traumatized or frightened because of his grand power. So that is the majestic power of the consciousness. See, beautiful verses, you can think all. And also says, actually, he is infinite. Then how he walks, where he walks. That's why that idea is given. Apanipada, he has no leg. But he walks all over the universe. No hand. Javano grahita. He has no hand, it grabs everything. It is just opposite ideas are given. That's why that absolute consciousness is beyond all our apprehension. So without leg he walks, without hand he holds everything. Pashyati achakshu, he has no eyes, but he sees everything. Like this small eye we have, God has eye like that, small eye, but he sees everything. That's why you call it the witness consciousness. So pashyati achakshu. Srinati akarna, he has no ear like that us, but he hears everyone's prayer, everyone's cry, everyone's thing. He is the Lord God. Savetti vettam, savetti, he knows everything. Vedāham, what is to be known. Nachatusya vetta, there is no one who will say, I know Brahman. There is nobody to say that, because then he becomes greater than Brahman. When you say no, what you know, that is a limited thing. Knower is always bigger than that. So, knower, if you say, even to know them, there is another knower, then that cannot be. That's why he says, Savetti vedāham. He knows what is to be known in the whole cosmos. Nachatusya vetya. There is no one who is the knower of him, knower of that consciousness. There is no such thing. Tamahuragram purāṇaṃ mahantam. Agram, those people who are advanced in spirituality, that they call upon as purāṇaṃ mahantam, the Mahan, grand, conscious entity, Purusha. And how is that? Yes, all contradiction. Apanipada, this idea is called the Jagannath temple. Have you seen the Jagannath's form? Who have seen? Who have not seen? Raise your hand. Jagannath's form? You have not seen? Oh, then you should see. It is Jagannath, you go to Puri Jagannath, and there is the absolute Advaita Vedantic expression of Advaita Vedanta. You will find that there is a wooden piece, they call it Jagannatha, and his eyes are no eyelid, it is only round like that, and it's no blinking. There is no time, concept of time in him. Very Vedantic expression of Vedanta. His eyes are round and is always open, eyes. His hand is cut here. Just the hand was progressing to be manifest as if someone has cut the hand. There is no hand. Like that. So, it is no hand, but he works everywhere. No eyes, but it sees everything. No leg, he walks everywhere. What is that type of thing? It's all contradictory. Without leg, how can he walk? But he should not have a leg. Where he will walk? It is he only. Can you walk on your body? You cannot do, because you are the body. Leg and you are the same, one. So similarly, if that cosmic consciousness is everywhere, where he will walk, who will walk over him, if that is the ultimate reality. So to conceive all this, no, that's why I suggest this is a part to be meditated upon, these verses. Kapani pado javano grahita. He's holding everything, catching everything without any hand. and pani, he has no pani, hand, no pada, but pashyati achakshu. He has no eyes, but pashyati, sees everything. And srinati akarna, no karna, no ear, but he listens to everyone. Ramakrishna says, God listens to the, what is called the wriggling of the, dangling of the ankle. And that ankle is tied with what? An ant, small ant. Small ant, imagine, a small ant, in its leg, one anklet is given, and that anklet is making noise when the ant is moving. God listens to that. That's why there is just a funny, one devotee is asking, Allah, calling upon Allah. Another sadhu is saying, why are you calling him? He listens to your heart. Before you speak out that, he understands that. You are not to make a expression of that. It is, he knows the heart. So, srinati akarno, sabetti vedāham, and he knows everything of all what is to be known. Natatasya vetta, there is no one who will be knowing him. And what is at the same time contradictory. Anuraniyan, we have read the other day. Mahato mahiyan, atma guhayang nitosya janto, tamakratuhu pashyati vitasoko, dhatu prasadan mahimanam atmana. Beautiful. Dhatu prasadan mahimanam isham. Little distinction. Upanishad also carries the same mantra. Anuraniyan, mahato mahiyan. But the Śvetāśvatara, little change, one or two places. That Atman is Anuraniyan, is the minutest of the minute. Anu means atom, subatomic, smaller than the subatomic. Go to whatever your concept, it is smaller than that. And at the same time it is bigger than the biggest. How this contradiction is possible? We know what is small, that is small. Big is big. But what the glory of the Atman is that it is finer than the finest, smaller than the smallest, and greater than the greatest you can imagine. Anuraniyan mahato mahiyan. But again, Atma janto nihito guhaya. Where can you find him? In the heart of Guha. Guha means the cave of the heart of everyone. Asya janto, all these created beings, creatures, guhayam, in the cave, nihito, embedded, or she makes his seat, form seat there. And tam akratu, he is beyond all karma. You cannot reach him by doing karma, by doing Vedic yajnas. In the Vedic time, the Veda has two parts, no? One is karma kanda, another is jnana kanda. Karma kanda deals totally with what? Only rituals. You offer this mantra, do this havana, and after that you get this result. You will go to heaven, this problem will go away. That's why it is called karma. Karma brings some good result, bad result, that's all. But God is not limited in your karma. Brahman is not limited in karma. Akarma. That's why he says, tam akratu. No kratu. Kratu means jagna. By jagna you cannot get him. By working in the world you cannot get anything. That's why there comes the idea of niskama karma. And then now comes the idea of practical Vedanta, what Ramakrishna Mission teaches now. So karma, no, it is not karma. It is my sadhana. It is seeing God everywhere. It's serving God everywhere. No less than that. So this is the lofty idea So here it is embedded here. Tam akratu. One word. Tam akratu pashyati. You cannot see that by krotu. Krotu means jagna. That means sacrificial fire. You do 100 aswamedha jagna. You cannot reach him. You can do whatever you like in the material world. You can gain power by karma. You do a good karma, you become millionaire. You can be billionaire. But you cannot reach God. You cannot reach the truth. Tam akratu. That consciousness is beyond everything. But it is, you can find him. We are all beggars in the world, but you need not to beg. You see in your own heart. Nityam. Nityam means very important. Nityam means deeply embedded in your own heart. You can catch him here, feel him, experience him. And after experience, you can feel a thrill all over your health, all your personality. That is pashyati. But who can see? And when they say, bita soka. After experiencing that in the heart and also open eyes everywhere, that person becomes bita soka, be beyond all soka, bereavement. Bereavement comes of what? Something was here, I lost it. That's why bereavement comes. My father died, my son died, my wife died, my husband died, or some near and dear great loss. I feel very sad, bereaved I am that. But bita soka. There is no soka, beyond all bereavement. Pashyati bita soka. Dhatu prasad. How can you see that? You have to do sadhana. Dhatu prasadat. By the purification of dhatu means buddhi. Clarification of your intellect. That's why Vedanta calls vichara. To analyze permanent, impermanent, what is eternal, to find the eternal from the non-eternal. So that's why he says, dhatu prasad. Prasad means buddhir prasannata. Dhatu means also buddhi. The prasannata, the grace of your buddhi. We need God's grace. But here he says you need your buddhi, own buddhi's grace. God is gracious. It is not working. Because I am not gracious to my own buddhi. Or my buddhi is not gracious to me. Buddhi says, go this way. Every day I am hearing all these things. Till mind says, go. Go that way. Look at the world. Then get involved into the world. And world, and die like a world. That's buddhi is not holding me in the right direction. Buddhi is prasad. Prasad means we take food offered to God is called prasad. The buddhi is not getting prasad by God's grace. When God's grace is coming, but it is not holding it, so it cannot reflect the glory of God. So dhatu prasad. That's why spiritual life is very much important when one can think this way to how to prasad, get the grace of your own buddhi. Ramakrishna said, Guru Krishna Vaishnav তিনের দয়া হলো একের দয়া বিনে জীব ছাড়ে খারে গেল. Guru grace us. Guru gave us the mantra and all Guru's grace we got it. Krishna, the Lord is very gracious, otherwise how can I come to a Guru? How the mind will be bent in that? Krishna's grace is there, Lord's grace is there. Devotees, those who love God, their grace is upon us. Their kind look, they don't say, but the good devotees, their prayers are holding us together. Three grace we got. Guru's grace, Krishna and God's grace, and Vaishnava means the Lord's children, servant, sevak, or Lord's devotees. All these grace, aker bina, but one's grace you are lacking. What is that? That is your mind, your intellect. It's very, very dangerous. This mind, how much you train him 5 minutes before, but 6 minutes he will do the same thing. He goes but his own rut. You are helpless there. You wanted, no, I will not be doing this. I will not think this way. But Bas, 6 minutes it takes away. That's why you are not getting the grace of your own mind. And here is dhatu. Dhatu here is a buddhi. Same thing, mind and buddhi is the same. Because of the lack of the grace of your own mind or intellect, everything is chare means all totally lost into voidness. All your sadhana is going in the what you call, drained out. There is a story, Thakur said that a farmer was working hard whole day and he was bringing water in his field, agricultural field, and at the end of the day he saw that no water. He has not sealed the holes. And water, you are throwing water into your field, it is going in black hole this way, that way, that way. So that's the point. Akir daya bina, without the grace of one, jeev, the individual soul, chare khare galo, got lost totally and destroyed. No spiritual growth, no freedom, same slavery of the senses, same slavery of anger, frustration. We have become slaves of those. So, dhatu prasadatmānaṃ. Vaishnava is the Vaishnava devotional scripture says Vaishnava, that means devotees, and Vedanta will say it is Shastra. Just read this scripture. I am reading it, but its meaning is not entering into my brain. Huh? How many types of brain is there? Buddhi? Stone-like buddhi is there. Stone-like buddhi, you want to take one nail to put it in the stone and you hammer it. What will happen? The nail's head will come down like that. It is not penetrating, it is coming out. It makes no dent. It is patthar buddhi. It is the stone-like buddhi. How much I say, it goes to there and goes out. Finish. It does not sink. Then there is another buddhi. It's called rubber-like buddhi. Rubber-like buddhi, you put a pin in a rubber and it will hold, as it were it will hold, but it does not stay. As soon as you just touch it and feel, it falls down. Stretch it, it falls down. The rubber-like buddhi. At least you touch for a second and then it goes away. Rubber-like buddhi. Then is skin-like buddhi. A pin you put in the skin, it penetrates. But still, it does not retain, but stays little longer. But if you pull it this way, that way, and it falls down. And there is the oil-like buddhi. Oil-like buddhi means what? You put oil in a water glass. Oil will never mix with what? Water. So it remains separate always. So this is spreads. Yes, spreads. Oil like buddhi spreads everywhere. You put one drop of oil, it spreads all over the surface of the water. A cup, suppose you take a cup of water, it covers all over. That means that buddhi penetrates into your own understanding. That's the highest buddhi. But most of the buddhi are like stone buddhi, or it will be like the rubber buddhi, or like a skin buddhi. According to gradation, high. Best is the oil buddhi. That means which can spread, understand, you understand, it spreads to your intellect, your mind, and it penetrates into your whole body. That reaction will be thrill of horripilation and other things will come. Anyhow, this is introduction. Because you people are not here, that's why I am repeating all the verses, what he did in these few verses. So it says that is the way, that the grace of the Creator, one becomes free from sorrow and desire, and then realize Him as the great. By His grand grace, we understand Him. Now, the 21st verse. Vedāham etam. Say, vedāham etam ajaraṃ purāṇaṃ, ajaraṃ purāṇaṃ sarvātmānaṃ, sarvātmānaṃ, sarvagataṃ, sarvagataṃ, vibhutvāt, vibhutvāt, janmanirodhaṃ, janmanirodhaṃ, pravadanti yasya, pravadanti yasya, brahmavādino, brahmavādino, hi pravadanti nityam, hi pravadanti nityam. Again, vedāham etam, vedāham etam, ajaraṃ purāṇaṃ, ajaraṃ purāṇaṃ, sarvātmānaṃ, sarvātmānaṃ, sarvagataṃ, sarvagataṃ, vibhutvāt, vibhutvāt, janmanirodhaṃ, janmanirodhaṃ, pravadanti yasya, pravadanti yasya, brahmavādino hi, brahmavādino hi, pravadanti nityam, pravadanti nityam. Now, vedāham etam. Very beautiful verse again. Declaration. Vedāham. I have known, I have experienced. It is no more a talk. Like Ramakrishna said, yes, I have seen God. I can see God more tangibly than I see you. So that is this declaration of the Upanishad Rishi, the sage of the Upanishad saying, vedāham etam, I have realized the truth. Aham, Veda, I have experienced. Aham Veda, that reality. What is that reality? Ajaraṃ. Ajaraṃ means which has no beginning. Aja. Janmanirodhaṃ means no, there is no beginning. Ajaraṃ means who has no old age. Everything becomes old. But Brahman never becomes old. It never becomes born. It is not a baby stage. It is not adult stage. It is not old age stage. It has no death stage. Sorrow vikar. Everything in the universe is subject to the 6 changes. What are the 6 changes? Asti. We come in mother's womb, asti. The world does not know that. But it is there, baby is there. Jayate is born. Then baby, the world knows the baby has born. Vardhate, it grows. Swimming, walking in the ground with 4 arms, then trying to stand up and then play. How much all this goes on, years together. So, asti jayate vardhate, then growing. Then, asti jayate vardhate, viparinamate. Then you become some age and then you decline. Viparinamate. Apakshiyate, then become old. And you become old, then you almost reaching towards the end. And then mrityu, death. So these are the several stages of development. Everything in this world, sun. Sun is sun, but it will not be the same sun. Every day it is losing its energy. And a point will come one day, it will be no more shining anymore. But not today, not tomorrow, but in time. Nothing in the universe is unchanging. Only that Atman, that Brahman, that is unchanging. So, ajaraṃ. Janmanirodhaṃ, vedāham, ajaraṃ, purāṇaṃ. What does it mean, purāṇaṃ? Purāṇaṃ means the oldest. That's our self is the oldest guy. The consciousness is the oldest one. If older, there is no older than him. That's the oldest. Sarvātmānaṃ. Sarvātmānaṃ means is the essence in the heart of, in the Atman of everyone, is the soul of everyone. It is without that, now nothing exists. Without the ocean, no wave exists. Can you imagine? Wave, ripple, bubble, and there is no ocean. Can you think that? As it is impossible, then we see all these names and forms are impossible to think if there is no Brahman. And the ocean of Brahman, all are names and forms, bubbles of names and forms. Sarvagataṃ, and it permeates everywhere. Sarvagataṃ. And vibhutvāt, because it is all pervaded. Janmanirodhaṃ, it is, there is no beginning. Janma means birth. And creation, it is, that is non-created. There is no creation. There should, then if you say creation, then there must be another creator of God. That is, goes against logic. You cannot say Brahman and then who is created the Brahman, then that becomes Brahman. If you say who created that, then it becomes Brahman. Now where will you end? There is no end of it. So that is the point. Who says this? Pravadanti. Who? Pravadanti? Who says this? Ordinary people? No. Brahmavādino. All the brahmavādin, those who have realized Brahman, and they speak about Brahman in this way. That is, this is ajaraṃ, is no old age, is the oldest, is residing in the real nature of everyone, and it is vibhu, it's all pervaded, and also all permeated. And I have known that, vedāham etam. And that which is birthless is Brahma sages, the sages call him eternal, eternal. So, then translation is here done by this book. He said, I know this undying primeval immanent self of all. I, the Rishi, the sayers of truth. These Upanishads are called the, it is, Upanishad is experience of the sages. The Rishi, who is the seer of this Upanishad, he is saying, I know. Ramakrishna said, I have seen, I know. I know this undecaying primeval and immanent self of all. There is no decay, and it is immanent in everything, and it is the self, real essential nature of all. And what is that? He is omnipresent because of his all-pervasiveness, and whom the expounders of Brahman declare to be eternally free from birth. So, that is the simple translation done by here. Our, what is called the Swami, Tyagishananda Swami. Shankara says, I know this ancient one who is free from decrepitude, who is the self of all, and who is omnipresent by virtue of pervasiveness, regarding whom the deliberators of Brahman speak of birthlessness, and whom they speak of eternal. So aham means I, Veda the knowing, etam this, purāṇaṃ means the ancient one, who is ajaraṃ, which is free from all decrepitude, free from the quality of modification, changes. Sarvātmānaṃ, who is the self of all. Sarvagataṃ, omnipresent. Vibhutvāt, by virtue of all pervasiveness, like space. Regarding whom brahmavādino, the deliberators of Brahman, pravadanti means speaks. Janmanirodhaṃ, it is birthless, and of whom they speak of as nityam, eternal. the meaning is very clear. So that is the Shankaracharya didn't say much here. Now, let me see if this Lokeshwarananda Swami, what he says. Lokeshwarananda Swami says, the self is hidden in the hearts of creatures. It is small than, it is 21. It will be the next one. Yeah. He says, I know the self, which never ages, which is eternal, and is also the self of all. It is all pervasive everywhere, and in every being. Those who know Brahman, the self, declare that it is without birth and also without death. They say it is eternal. Now the explanation. Knowing Brahman simply means your ignorance is dispelled. What is knowing means? What do you mean by knowing Brahman? Means our ignorance about Brahman will be dispersed. I do not know Brahman. Why? Because I am ignorant. I do not see God. Why? I am ignorant because I see the material object. So here he says, I know this self which never ages, which is eternal. And knowing Brahman simply means your ignorance is dispelled. It is like when light appears, darkness is gone. There is no process of knowledge involved, such as in the learning chemistry or economics. There is a process of learning, no. You step by step learn. But in Vedanta what happens? When knowledge comes, it does not come little by little. It does not. Ramakrishna gave the example. Suppose in a dark room, which is dark for thousands of years, it is dark. But you just strike a match, instantly the darkness goes away. That is called knowledge. That is the beauty of Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga will say, little by little the cloud will go away, little by little the sun will come out to my consciousness, no? Bhakti Yoga. And Jnana Yoga, no, one strike, all mean gone. One stroke it will go away. That is because before that you are in ignorance. Even you are experiencing something, that experience is within the realm of Maya. When you die totally, once your ego is dissolved, then is the time you actually experience the truth. So that's why it is said, you cannot, the path of knowledge is totally different than that of bhakti in this sense, because Gyan is, that's why you become dry. They are talking not this, not this, not this, not this. All the time say not this. They don't enjoy anything. They cannot eat rasagulla. They cannot get ice cream. We offer it to ice cream and say, look, I am taking prasad. So my tongue is satisfied in bhakti. And also think that I am going God's prasad. So both sides is there. And gradually you are thinking of God more and more and more. Jnanapat, till ignorant, whatever you see, your darshan, it is also ignorance. You see some divine dream, forget, it's your mind. Don't pay attention to that. But Bhakta will say, I saw that light, and light was all pervaded, ha 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 ha. And they will be happy with that. Vedanta will say, it is also ignorance, don't pay attention to that. Go forward. So don't be attached to anything. So that's why for Jnani it's called a dry. A Bhakta is sweet, because every step, I give the example. You are all hikers, many hikers are here now. So there are two ways of hiking a mountain top, no? One is a straight hike. Don't look right and left. One, another, go straight. What is that called? Jnanapath. But what is real in the world they call it? The rope climbing. Rope climbing, or what is that? Rock climbing. And another is you take a flask of coffee and some snacks and walk and go round, up and down and see a vista point, sit there, you are tired, and then have some snacks, and then again after enjoying the beauty and go, this is bhakti path. You go on, but it will take longer time, no? But those who are hitchhiking, not hitchhiking, it's rock climbing, they have no time to look right and left and this and that. If you look right and left, then you will fall down. So its total attention is on how to reach the climb. That's why whatever scenic beauty comes, not this, and throw away. It is not that I want, I don't care. And you reach there. So this is the true distinction. Bhaktas get easily happy. That's why they are happy people. But Gyanis, Ramakrishna said, they look like dry people. But our mission sadhus are not dry. Sarvātmānaṃ is dry. No, because they balance all these things together. But anyhow, out and out Vedanta, you have seen sadhus, they will see that they don't care for anything. Anything of the name and form, reject it. It is name and form. It is not that truth. It is in ignorance. Your vision of Lord Krishna, Rama, it is all ignorance. That's why he said, he who is, Ramakrishna said, no? He who is Rama, he who is Krishna, he is Ramakrishna, but not according to your Vedanta. Very important point. Last word is very simple but very important. Your Vedanta, there is no avatara. Avatara is also under Maya. It's a darker Maya, brighter Maya, but it's Maya. You are in the jail. You are jailed in the deep cell and now in a front cell. But cell is cell. You cannot come out. So that's why it is called not according to your Vedanta. That's why Swamiji here says it is like when the light appears, darkness is gone. There is no process of knowledge involved. So in the process of knowledge, there is no step-by-step thing. Not this, I am Atman. All conclusion goes away. I am Atman. So there is no step by. And such as in the learning, you learn chemistry, you learn economics, no? You gradually read one stage to other stage of knowledge, you go deeper and deeper and deeper. It is not an intellectual process, because when you know Brahman, you become one with Brahman. It is as if a veil had been concealing from you the fact that you are Brahman, and suddenly that veil is lifted, and then you realize, I made a mistake, now I understand, who am I am Brahman. That's why it says, for Brahmajnana you don't need to do anything. We said we have to do japa, we have to do chitta suddhi, this, that. You do whatever you like. But for knowledge you don't need anything, only the veil drops and you see the thing. You need not have to create anything, you need not have to bring anything. The sun was shining in the sky, it is, it was, it will be, and you now experience that. So it is not janna padartha. It is not for any reason. If it is janna padartha, when I did this, 1000, Holy Mother said, someone is writing, Ma, I do so much japa, nothing is happening. Holy Mother said then, oh, write him, because you are doing japa, God will have to come forward. Is there any contract? It is contractual, naki. You give $5 bill you give, and your shopping people will give $5 material. Is it like that? It is unconditional. So it is His grace. Our mother said it is God's grace. So it is as if a veil had been concealing from you the fact that you are Brahman, and suddenly that veil is lifted. Then you realize, I made a mistake. Now I understand who am I am Brahman. You are transformed. You know you are not the body, not the mind, not the intellect, and you no longer identify yourself with them. Earlier the Upanishad referred to a Brahmana as ajaraṃ, the first cause, the firstborn. Again the Upanishad calls the purāṇaṃ, it is the ancient, the earliest, the first. But at the same time, Brahman is ajaraṃ. It does not change. It has no jara, decay. When we are young, we have a strong, healthy body. Then as we grow old, the body begins to decay. But Brahman is always the same. Sarvātmānaṃ, it is the self of all. The same self is everywhere. As there is but one moon, yet it may have many different reflections. So also there is but one Brahman that appears with different names and different forms. Sometimes a child takes some clay and makes different figures out of it. He may make a dog and a tiger and a human being. Though there are different forms with different names, they are all the same clay. The clay is the reality. The name and forms are superimposition. Sarvagataṃ. Sarvagataṃ means Brahman is everywhere. And it is vibhu means all pervasive. It fills the entire universe. When Sri Ramakrishna was teaching Swami Vivekananda Advaita Vedanta, Swamiji would protest, what is difference between this and atheism? Can it ever be possible that the pot is God, the cup is God, and we ourselves are God? Ramakrishna said, yes, Brahman is also the cup and the pot. But Swamiji would not agree. It is silly to talk like this, he said. Brahman everywhere, even in the pot. Sri Ramakrishna replied, just wait. Someday you will realize it yourself. You don't accept it now, but a time will come when you will accept the fact that Brahman is in everything. And soon afterwards, Swamiji did have the realization. No? We know this pot is Brahman, the room is Brahman, the door is Brahman, the door seal is Brahman. It is ridiculous. Everything is Brahman. Well, yes, one point will come, full knowledge comes, then you can see that. Ramakrishna gave the example, wax example. Wax garden, it is all made of wax. Our Upanishad gives the idea. All the pot, dish, everything in early days, Stone Age was there, and later on, when it came the clay, people used to eat on clay plates, clay cup. Even in India, nowadays also have probably tea in clay pots for drinking, clay cups, clay glasses. But it is all clay, only the names are different. Janmanirodhaṃ means Brahman is without birth. Moreover, that which is not born, naturally that will never die. Thus it is also without death. It is unconditioned. If there is such a thing as death, it is merely the death of the body. It is like throwing away a shirt that you have used for a long time. How do we know that all this is true? Now, okay, all this I understand. But how do I know? Many people say, how do you know that this is birthless, it is deathless, it has no old age, it is always shining? How do you know? How do you know? The scriptures may say this, but how do we know that they are not fooling us? We know because generations after generations of teachers, from the earliest time to the present, say the same thing. This is their experience, and they do not just say, accept our words. They say, you must also realize this. There is no other path. Buddha once said to one of his followers, here is the path. I am showing you the path, but you must follow it. Then if you don't succeed, if you don't reach the goal, come back and tell me. You are a cheat. Another time some people came to Buddha and said, you are a savior. But Buddha replied, no, I am not a savior. I cannot save you. You have to save yourselves. I can only show you the path, but you must follow the path yourselves. Here also, brahmavādino, the knowers of Brahman, say that this path can be realized. It is their testimony. So, Vedanta stands here. It does not give false hope. He said, you practice, you will get it. Whether it is true or not, you are to justify it by your own life and your thinking, day and night thing. So this said the day and night thing, that I am not the body, not the mind. And then it will happen. Then it will happen that Atman can be experienced then. Okay, this is the end of the third chapter, so we'll read the fourth chapter. Let's begin fourth chapter in the next class. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. So you have any question from the floor? Yes.
Maharaj, why does God's grace doesn't surpass our buddhi?
Why
Does God leave us?
this buddhi? It is his fun. And when you want to play, you have the mixture of all these things. When you want to, you are sitting, you are a painter. When you paint, why don't you keep the whole world only white? That's all. But you take different colors. Why do you take the different color? Something is very strong, something is light, some is soothing, some is irritating. No? This is the way of creation. Someone, as I give the example also, you want to have some, you want to have some team of, what you call the amateur performance of theatrical performance. So we decide that we will play this book, and then you take one role, I take another role, and everyone takes their role. And when you come to the stage, one is killing each other, another is fighting with someone, another is loving someone, another is hating someone, and all these diverse things. Why for? Why? Fun. Why do you come for fun? You could have slept well, but why you are, after whole day's work, you are rehearsing? Why do you are rehearsing? It's a torture on your body. But no, it is for fun. So God also has fun. Okay, here is a question. I know my intellect is working against me, but at the core of it is protecting a victimized ego image. So after this acknowledgement, what should one do? I know my intellect is working against me, but at the core of it is protecting a victimized ego image. Are, what is victimized ego? Vedanta will say ego is wrong. Ego will die. So victimized or honored, what does it matter? My ego, you hurt my ego. You said so much thing and I am hurt. You can hurt and cry and weep, but you understand what is that? Mind itself is wrong. Mind is temporary. Ego is all useless thing. Today's use. What is the? How many times you cried when you were a young girl or young boy? Those ego was hurt. So where does it go? It has gone already. It is out of memory already. So that is the way of pattern of life we should have to ignore. When you are a student of Vedanta, you will have to say, I am not the body, so I am not the ego also. Somebody will say good, okay, let us have the courage to say, okay, thank you. And someone say bad, you are bad, worst, thank you. Be proud and strong. Who can hurt you? Unless you accept it. How can you say to me that? How did you behave like that? How did you look at me like that? And you cry, and there is no end of cry. You said, okay, thank you. You praised me, thank you. You blamed me, thank you. So you become bold. Say once this word in your mind. Look at your life. Really you will find that what its strength comes. As soon as you in internally mind says, yes, I thank you, O Lord. Someone is praising, blaming. Good, thank you. I'm proud that you are blaming me. If we are, that does not mean that you should be doing all nonsense things and saying, okay. No, but I'm sincerely trying to do. But if sometimes it happens, and most of the time it happens, misunderstanding. So should we have the courage to say, okay, what is that to it? Who cares? That's why Swamiji's chela. We should be Swami Vivekananda's chela. Raise your hand and say, head. Yes, okay, I accept it. I'm bad, okay, I accept it. You are happy? Go. See, formula is solved here. Problem is solved. And you become powerful because you don't care it. Which is Buddha's example. Someone is challenging Buddha and putting all types of negative things about Buddha. Buddha was very silent and calm, and when he got exhausted, blaming and Buddha is not responding anything, that's a courage. Who can do that? And then afterwards I said, okay, now you are done? Yes. Okay, suppose you bring a gift to someone, of your friend, and the friend does not accept your gift. Where does it go? Then you have to respond, it comes back to the person who brought the gift. So Buddha said, I also like that. I am not taking anything what you said, it goes back to you. See, and you become free. If there is no truth in it, okay, you understand it is not truth, have the courage. And what we do, we cry. We don't have the courage to say, okay, I accept it. What it matters? You should be proud that how many people love you, how many, they will double the amount should hate you. Is it not? Only people will praise me. Why? Let some people blame me. That makes a balance in the world. You accept this philosophy, see how strong you will be. Only this intellectual acceptance. So that is, I think, that is the way we have to think about that. We have to understand that we are trying to get out of the ego, and the ego image sometimes gets victimized. Okay, but you should be in the world of reality, you should be intelligent to be strong enough so that no one takes advantage of you. That's one other thing. But in a spiritual sense, we have to learn every day, every moment say, I reject good, I reject bad. I don't care. I only want the truth. That's a strong statement, not easy to hold on. But that is probably the easier way. Another question. Unfortunately, I have had a leaky buddhi my whole life. Don't worry, you have not the leaky buddhi, we also have. That's why we have to take the use of bhakti. In elementary school, I could not retain when I read, so I was bad reader and student. My mom took me for special classes, but still no help. I got through higher secondary HS in the general classes, not academic. So if I believe this story, my buddhi goes in one ear and out other. Perhaps I should not believe this story. Yeah, Vedanta says, buddhi is buddhi, you are not buddhi. Why are you hanging on to buddhi? You are thinking buddhi is the only thing that can protect you. Nah? But you are not buddhi, you are beyond buddhi. Hold that point. I am beyond buddhi, beyond mind, beyond body, I am beyond ego. I am that. But in the relative sense, yes, our buddhi, leaky buddhi, because buddhi does not catch the essential thing. As I said, you are working hard, meditation, japa, but the hole, some big hole is there where the water is drained out. So you should seal those. What are those? These are all human imperfections. Our ego, our pride, our old sanskaras. So we have to try to look upon that, and so that the buddhi does not take a wrong direction.
Buddhi for secular studies and
Apara-vidya. The buddhi is the same. Apara-buddhi means is focused on the thing material. And para-buddhi means same buddhi, same light I am focusing here, I can focus it there. Only on the spiritual subject or non-spiritual. That makes the difference. Buddhi is buddhi, but it is easy to focus on the external object in science and other thing, much difficult to focus inside because it is subtle and subtle and subtle. Another question, Ramakrishna said, one must practice spirituality to grow in spirituality. Does intellectual understanding of spirituality without experiencing anything help in any way for spiritual growth? Does intellectual understanding takes us little further, but to experience is the goal. But we will have to must first make an effort to best use our intellect and to refine our intellect so that intellect can catch this idea, the world is not real. We should not be so much giving so much value to the world. How much we cry and every day for who says what, who looked upon me, what he is doing and talking behind me. And we are spending our life energy into this waste. So be proud to be strong enough to not to accept them. What is Jnana-mishra bhakti? Jnana-mishra bhakti means we should have to knowledge that this is the idea. The world is ultimately all false. Brahman alone is true. And Mishra, but I cannot reach it, O Lord. I worship the Saguna Brahma. Two together. With the background of Vedanta, you worship gods and goddesses and then do prayer and meditation. This is called the Jnana-mishra bhakti. Quickly, I am just explaining quickly. You know all this. Jnana means knowledge. What is knowledge? Knowledge, ultimate knowledge is Brahman. Everything is temporary, everything is changing. And they are not. What is mishra means mixed with devotion. Devotion means, I know this. Every day we pray, oh Lord, I know this. My mind does not resonate with that. I know that the bhakti bhajan, in the prayer, Ramakrishna prayer we sing every day. Bhaktir bhagascha bhajanam bhavavedakari, which destroys the world, worldly entanglement. But I know this, but my heart does not resonate. So that is the way to pray. That is the bhakti. And lovingly pray to Saguna Brahma, to reach that Nirguna Brahma. Give me buddhi. Another question, Ramakrishna said that as an avatar, it was if he was a hole through which we saw God. He also said that the Divine Mother was clear when become closer to her. Can you please comment? Yes. Suppose this wall, you are in a room where all the walls are closed. Only there is a cut on the wall, and that cut is in the shape of Ramakrishna. So if you sit anywhere in the room and look at the cut, then you will see this is Ramakrishna form. But you move closer to that wall where there is a hole, and you see, but all the time you see the sky behind, coming through that hole. But you can see that you are there, the hole is there, the cut, the hole of Ramakrishna's size is there. But now you move spiritually and meditating and praying and go close to the hole, then what will you see? If your eyes you put in the hole, then you see the hole is gone. You see the sky, infinite sky behind. So this is the thing. Avatara is like a hole, focusing on him, thinking of him, as if he is God himself. Because you know, through the hole, you see the sky only. Nothing else but the sky outside, the vast sky which is behind. Ramakrishna is looking as a human being, but is the vast sky of consciousness behind. So we look at him as a human, like a cut in the wall. But if we move towards him with devotion and love and prayer, thinking that that form is the infinite, Satchidananda, and go close, really it is, you are seeing the sky and sky, nothing else. Because it is a hole only. To the whole, this infinite sky is coming out. And then if you can go closer and closer into Aham Brahmasmi, I am that, you merge and meditate in deep meditation, then you reach there, you find that there is nothing but the infinite sky beyond. So this is the way to go on. And he also said that Divine Mother was clear when becomes close to her. Yeah, it is natural. When you are close, you will see Mother Mary clearly. If by knowing Brahman ignorance is dispelled, then how can there be different levels of Brahmagyanis? Different levels of Brahmagyanis means when the Brahmagyana is the same, knowledge of Brahman is the same. Ice cream you eat, everyone will feel the ice cream, no? But one who is fully attentive to the taste and he knows his sensitivity is fine, he will describe the ice cream much better. And you also are having ice cream, but your mind is thinking of something else, and you are eating the ice cream. If someone says, "What flavor of ice cream did you eat?" You'll say, "I do not know." But you ate the ice cream because your mind was not there. So how much mind is involved into the expression of your taste will depend on how much you went deep into the knowledge. So, Brahmajnani, there are gradations, those who go little deep and deeper and deeper and deeper. See, Ramakrishna used to go to Samadhi every now and then. There are many sadhakas who got Samadhi once in lifetime. That's enough for them, for few minutes. And Ramakrishna went every day, how many times there is no end. And also he was in 6 months continuously in that Samadhi state. That is the difference. This avatar or special power. Ordinary people cannot do that. We hear about all the great souls, Brahmajnani. There may be 1 cent, 2 cent in that depth. Ramakrishna is full there. So that's why the distinction comes between the... But as knowledge comes, when you dive deep into the knowledge, everyone experiencing the same thing. But when you come out and then express, that expression will be different, because how is your mind, how far it has absorbed it. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Tomorrow there will be gospel class.
There are so many questions.
Our question, tomorrow we'll do that question.
No, there
Alright?
is one more is there.
Again question.
No, this is Brahmajnani.
This Bhaktipada.
This, that.
Oh Baba. Another question, but time is up. Acha, shall I do today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow if they will come or not, I don't know.
Okay, so tomorrow we'll then do them, because it is already 8:45. Oh, acha, you listen the question. What is it? Bhakti path, there are 2. In the bhakti path, does one need to ultimately come to oneness through jnana? Does the bhakti path also culminates into oneness? Is God not the part of the working world only? Oh my God. So, there is the bhakti path, there are 2. Yeah, bhakti path means God is there, I am there, and there are 2, duality. Does one need ultimately to come to oneness? Yes, you will be. When you get absorbed in the thought of God, then your ego will be merged into Him. You will attain the Advaita, but it is not said Advaita. We don't want to be united like that. Ramakrishna said, I want to enjoy the sugar, not to be sugar. Then you keep a little distance. But there, they will also attain same Brahmajnana. That's the bhakti path also culminates into oneness, yeah. Is God not part of the working world? No, God is not part. The whole world is a part of God. Another question, Ramakrishna told Swami Sarvadevananda that he had heard some scene Vaikuntha, so he would not have any more visions. Does that mean that visions are preliminary experiences? Yes, visions are preliminary experiences. When you get to the absolute knowledge, all visions cease. Visions means duality. I am a person observing, there is something I am seeing. A mystic vision. So to see mystic vision, there is reality and I am there. It is divided into 2. That's a duality. Bhakti, jnana, anipat. When our ego become totally polished and pure, then ego merges into Brahman and you become Brahman. There is no other way to go. But we don't want to stay in. Bhakta does not want to stay in that state. They come back and enjoy the bliss in the duality. But that is not the duality we live. We live in fear all the time. After vision sees, what follows? Nothing. You enjoy the world as God. Okay. Om. Jai Jai. Jai Ma. Tomorrow we'll see you. And keep the questions, but tomorrow also. Tomorrow gospel class at 7:30. I'll do, no? Okay, I'll do tomorrow gospel class.